Hey there, friend. Welcome to my January 27th. First and foremost, we are coming up on the end of the month here, getting close to my 30 days of Vloguary. So that's, technically, I said 30, January's 31 days, right? January's 31 days. But either way, it is coming up on the end of Vloguary. So Vloguary. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. Just first and foremost, it's like I'm noticing that now. I feel like specifically yesterday and today, I was like, oh man, we're like almost done. So naturally, I am starting to think about what's next, what comes after Vloguary, what have I enjoyed about it, what haven't I enjoyed about it, and how do I want to take all this going forward? So I thought of today specifically through the help of a friend, just because it came up in conversation. He was asking a lot of great questions. Thought that I would do a kind of like review video once this is done. And I think that I'll probably end up doing that as like the first video after Vloguary, rather than like the 31st day of Vloguary, only because the 30th is Jesse's birthday, and therefore, naturally, maybe that's, I don't know, no, because that wouldn't be what I would show on the 31st, so maybe that would make sense. Anywho, I am planning on doing a little bit of a recap. And then, yeah, kind of, I'll probably share in there what some of my thoughts are for future, like where am I taking this, what am I doing? But other than that, today, I actually wanted to talk about job stuff. I've had some questions about what is this? What is it actually? And of course, I wanted to share a little bit more specifics because, yeah, why not, right? That's the interesting stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then maybe even have a little bit more of just kind of like day in our life type stuff following that. But for the job component, yeah, so if you didn't happen to see the other day, I signed an offer this week, so I will be employed in the month of February, which is really exciting, really exciting. It's also nerve-wracking because it is something that's new and different for me. The last time I was employed was when I was 24 years old. I am now going to be 34 years old this summer. So yeah, it's been a long time. And especially since I was working in this capacity, in this field, but also more of just like a normal job, a real job, I like to joke about. So what is this? What's the role? Where is it at? All this good stuff. So the company is a software company. Not going to share too many details currently, but it is a software company, and my role is as a data engineer. What is a data engineer? There are two words that you probably hear, or you do hear, but like, what is that? Pretty, the most basic way to, express what that is essentially somebody who is obviously dealing with data and is making sure that that data is useful for the company or for the clients. It is making sure that, because like data is agnostic, right? Like it's just numbers. And for anybody that works with data of any type, you probably know that, especially if there's data that's being input in different places from different sources, then the output of all that, or like where that pool of data is kind of a jumbled mess. So my job will more or less be to be in that jumbled mess and making sense of it and creating processes and things for the business and anybody that is using the business to have awesome data, relevant, insightful, accurate data. So I'm excited about that because very much the type of role that I was looking for. Very similar to what I did as a business intelligence consultant for 2 years out of college. Business intelligence is very related to data and analytics. Business intelligence is the larger kind of end-to-end process. So like where that data is coming from in the business from an operational standpoint, where it's going throughout the process, being engineered and manipulated and things like that, where it's being stored. And then at the end of all that, how users are engaging with it. So that's the pretty part, reports, dashboards, things like that. So that's the business intelligence process. Business intelligence is kind of a fancy term for essentially being able to make better business decisions. And you have to have this pipeline be well oiled in order to do that well. The role is also remote, which is amazing. It was definitely something that I was gunning for in this process. I knew that given my personal situation, being out of the field for 8 years, that I wasn't, beggars can't be choosers, right? And so I kind of understood that there might be a chance, especially because I was looking for a job sooner rather than later. This is not like a long-term thing for me in terms of the process of it. I definitely needed something sooner rather than later. I understood that I might have to make some concessions on that and maybe have to look for something local, have to go in somewhere, a hybrid role, which hybrid I'd be totally open to as well. The 9 to 5, like having to come in every single day, definitely is something that didn't feel as good to me. If I had to make it work, I would. But all that to say, I am super grateful that it is a fully remote position. There is actually an office pretty close nearby in Durham. So that's like for anybody that doesn't know, it's like a neighboring city to Raleigh. And so that would be it's not close, solid like 35, 40 minutes, but, could potentially go in there if I wanted to. And I like having that option as well, especially as we are new to the area. It could be pretty nice to actually go somewhere and meet some people, locals, and, have some friends or connections in the area. So yes, so company, role, remote, what else? What else is there? So yeah, that's the main pieces of it. Just a note, especially for those of you that have followed my journey at all, especially mine and Jesse's journey, over the past few years. And if you've seen any of the videos on Jesse's channel, we've talked more about our debt on her channel than on mine. I'll probably end up starting to do that more on mine as well, or just push you to Jesse's. We'll see. But yeah, the financial piece of this, the offer and kind of like salary range is awesome. I'm just incredibly grateful for how everything worked out, because based on what I was hoping for, this definitely on the higher end of that, and feel really, really grateful for that. And just, the reason I share that is simply twofold, really, is one, if you are looking for a job, or just in general in or trying to create a business or whatever, just stay open to the fact that there are things possible out there that maybe don't jive with what you think is possible for you. I did not think this was possible for me when I started my search a couple months ago, I guess is what I'm getting at. So it feels just amazing to have been possible, and to see that and receive that. Yeah, just really, really cool. So yes, so like keep in mind that it is available to you. And two, as I mentioned, if you have any type of investment, no pun intended, in our journey, this is going to dramatically change our situation. Especially as it's been for the past like year or two, as I've started to want to make pivots in my business and decreasing kind of where I was at, and then Jessie being new in her business and just kind of going through the early phases of that. Yeah, things will look very different, which is, I mean, man, for anybody that's dealt with, being in a rough place financially for, a rather extended period of time, or really, I guess, any amount of time at all. Yeah, it's just a game changer. It's just going to completely shift, the things that we've been doing, the way that we've been able to attack our debt or not attack our debt, and just kind of the way that we can live our lives and engage in our relationship and building out a family. Like all those things will be much, there's a lot more space with the way that this will set up. So yeah, so that's really, really awesome. Really happy about that. So yeah, that's kind of that. I think I do want to share a little bit more of like the story of how this all unfolded, especially looking at the past, kind of like 6 months. And because there were so many interesting things that happened in there. So like you've kind of gotten the ground floor look if you've been hanging with me for, the past handful of months. But I also want to do kind of like a high level, really just like laying the story out, because it's a pretty cool, the way that events transpired was, interesting, and not everything seemed to have a purpose. And so yeah, anyways, like I just think it will be interesting, and so I am planning on doing that in a different video, just as an FYI, because I think that'll be really fun. I think that'll be more interesting than me just providing kind of like high level details. I know this is, interesting to some, but so yeah, I'll do that in a different video. Otherwise, just kind of hanging for the next couple of weeks. That's, I guess, where I'll finish my spiel on this, is that it's interesting because I essentially have 2 weeks off. And, because like before I was, working, running my own business and all that. And then I was looking for jobs. And so that's, as a lot of you know, like that in itself is a job. So to not have any of those things, and to know that there is like the financial piece of things is covered, like I don't have to stress about that. It's almost like, what do I do with myself for 2 weeks? Because those are the things that I've been filling my energy with over the past couple of years. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to just kind of hanging out. The number one thing that I plan on doing in the next 2 weeks is enjoying my time being unemployed, because once I start, I'm going to be employed for the foreseeable future. So yeah, just really want to enjoy that last little bit. And then the other piece of that is to, if I'm feeling up to it, kind of like a soft push in the direction of kind of just like laying the groundwork for some of like the bigger picture, longer term lifestyle business type stuff that I want to create. Community, email list. What else is in there? Oh, like I have a course, and I've mentioned that I ran last year, and just simply like it's all there in terms of like the videos and exercises. I just haven't made it available for like self-study purchase. So just kind of like really shoring those things up and making sure, again, if I can, I would love to be in a place with those things that I can just kind of create then. I can really just be in a place where I'm creating, and that stuff will slowly, organically come together over time. So yeah, that's pretty much my next 2 weeks. And then after that, I'll continue sharing here. I'm excited to share that process because yeah, why the hell not, right? We're all on this adventure together, and I'm going to keep sharing how I am creating a life of excitement and passion and experiences and freedom with you. That's what I'm here for. That's what this channel is all about. So yeah, that's, I guess, where I will leave you today. By the way, let me know if you like this little hangout spot here, because it's funny. This is like usually where my computer goes. So like if I'm having a call, this is the background people see, because this is like my room and my office here. But I haven't really filmed videos in here, but I think I'm gonna start doing so, because it's definitely like it's my space, it's my vibe, it's what I like. So yeah, anyways, hit me up if you like the space. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for hanging out. I'd love to hear what you think about the situation, any thoughts you might have. Otherwise, yeah, I look forward to talking to you more tomorrow.